Let me give you one last thought, and this is more on the money side. So the big value right now in Bitcoin is when a lot of money leaves this country and goes to different countries. You have a lot of immigration, a lot of immigrants in this country that come from all around the world, and they have families that are back in their country. And their countries are usually the ones that use this technology, usually maybe more not as affluent or a little poorer than say their family members are here. So those people are sending back remittances back to those countries. They're using Western Union or something like that.
Right.
Who's taking a huge chunk of that money in the transfer. So say they're sending $100 back to their family in El Salvador or wherever. Western Union's getting $40 of that or something, which could be $40 is a huge amount of money for those folks that it's going to. That can be fixed instantly with Bitcoin, and it is. They're already using it. It's already actually something that's happening. You hear that on one end, and it doesn't really hit home for like me or you, because we're not sending money back to the family, right?
Sure.
But one thing that I actually experienced myself, I worked a brand deal with a company in Canada a couple years ago, and when they paid me in a check, and the check said on it, a U.S. based or U.S. dollar based account, I think is what it said on the check. So I take that check to my bank to cash it, and the bank goes, well, we can't cash this. I'm like, why? It's in U.S. dollars.
That's right.
It says it's a U.S. whatever. Well, we don't have a relationship with that bank that money's coming from. And I was like, okay, you've lost me.
This was Switzerland?
No, this was Canada.
Canada.
They're like, we don't have a relationship with that bank. And I'm like, I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't realize that in order for a bank to cash a check from another bank, they had to have a relationship, right? I thought if it was dollars, it's dollars.
Yeah. It's got my name on it.
It's got my name on it.
They're good. I'm good. Let's go.
It's a dollar amount, right? They're like, it may take a week or two for us to cash this thing. And so I instantly go start doing research. How does this work? What's happening? So what happens is my bank had to find a bank that had a relationship with a bank that had a relationship with that bank. And so my bank basically sends my check to this other bank that they have a relationship with. And then that process takes a while. And then that bank sends it to this bank they have a relationship with. And that process takes a while. And it finally makes it to the Canadian bank, who then says, oh yeah, this is valid.
We wrote that.
Sends it back to this bank who does the transaction, back to this bank who does the transaction, back to my bank who does the transaction. It took 2 weeks for me to get my money. If they would have paid me in Bitcoin, it would have took about 2 seconds, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, in our daily lives, we don't see that it's antiquated like that until something like that happens. And you're like, man, this system is very antiquated.
So to hear you talk about blockchain is the way I see the people that were writing letters 50 years ago before text message came out.
Yeah.
One day you'll be able to hold a device in your hand and instantly send a letter.
What people talk.
No way.
Yeah.
No way would that happen.
Well, email.
You're going to FaceTime one day. You're going to be able to look at somebody and say, hey, and see them on the other end. Technology is like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah. Well, email was one of those where it was like, I remember back when email first came out, nobody understood it. Yeah. What do you mean I can send a letter instantly? Where does it go? Yeah. I don't understand it. It's kind of the same conversations we've had around blockchain and cryptocurrencies. Like, I don't understand it. I can't touch it. I can't feel it. I don't understand it. But it's the same thing with email. And now you look at the new generation of people who don't know, like my kids.
Oh, sure.
Don't know anything different than FaceTime.
They don't know how to address an envelope yet.
What do you mean? What do you mean you couldn't FaceTime? What do you mean you didn't have a cell phone?
Yeah. What's a cassette and a number 2 pencil have in common?
So I think what's going to happen too is there's going to be a lot of people that fight and scream through this transition, right? But the new generation is not going to know any different. Mm-mm. They're going to be like, nope, that's how you do it. Yeah. And not only that, they're probably going to be more comfortable with it.
Yeah. We've broad stroked a good bit on the blockchain today, and what I want to encourage everybody listening to do is the same thing Kyle has literally done for years, is self-educate. Right? I follow Natalie Brunell.
Yes.
I
actually looked her up today. First time.
Really?
Yeah.
She is who I would consider the expert in the room.
She has a podcast called Bitcoin stories?
I think so. Natalie, if this gets to you, hit us up at, what's the email?
SouthCackPod@gmail.com.
Hit us up. We'd love to get you to weigh in on some of this topic and maybe do an exercise with us or a podcast joint with us. But she's a great one. Pomp Global is a great one.
Anthony Pompliano.
Yeah, tons of information out there on YouTube. It's going to take a while for you to wrap your head around to this. A lot of our listeners will be like, I didn't get anything out of that episode 5.
Yeah, or maybe they did.
Or maybe they are going to look up Natalie Brunel and say, what's up?
All right.
SouthCack Syndicate sent us. So
that's it.
I'd encourage you to grab a